In the quiet solitude of their bathrooms, a senior experiences a stroke every 17 minutes, often caught unawares by the sudden turn of fate. Imagine if I revealed that the location you frequent 6 to 8 times a day might be quietly elevating your stroke risk by a staggering 300%. At this very moment, as you observe, countless seniors are unwittingly engaging in 4 perilous bathroom practices that are, in fact, reshaping their blood vessels for catastrophe. The most terrifying aspect? It's likely that your physician never brought these to your attention. In the next 9 minutes, I will unveil the concealed threats that could protect your life or the life of someone dear to you. After all, the events that unfold in your bathroom have far-reaching implications for your mind. Introducing Eleanor, a spirited 72-year-old retired high school English teacher who dedicated 4 decades to molding the minds of the youth. She is a proud grandmother of 4 lively grandchildren who come to visit every weekend, and she continues to volunteer at her local library twice a week. Eleanor had always taken great pride in her independence and well-being, dedicating herself to daily walks, preparing wholesome meals, and nurturing her stunning garden. However, last Tuesday morning, what began as her usual bathroom routine almost resulted in a life-altering tragedy. As she sat there, engaged in what felt like the most instinctive act imaginable, Eleanor remained blissfully unaware that her seemingly harmless daily bathroom rituals had transformed into a looming crisis. The 4 seemingly innocuous routines she had adhered to for decades were quietly orchestrating the conditions for a catastrophic stroke. In mere moments, her reality would be irrevocably altered, and the same fate could befall you. If this narrative strikes a chord with you, or brings to mind someone dear to you, kindly tap that like button and subscribe for more invaluable health insights tailored specifically for seniors such as Eleanor, and for you as well. The first habit, a perilous strain. Eleanor's greatest adversary was not the passage of time or her hereditary traits. Rather, it was something far more ubiquitous and deceptively benign. Eleanor, much like a significant portion of her peers, faced the challenge of constipation. Each day began with a struggle, rooted in the familiarity of her morning ritual. She would remain seated for 10, occasionally stretching to 15 minutes, pressing down with mounting frustration and intensity. "Come on," she would murmur to herself, pushing herself further with each attempt. What began as a mere twinge of discomfort had transformed into a perilous routine she engaged in several times each day. Unbeknownst to Eleanor, she was engaging in what medical professionals refer to as the Valsalva maneuver, a forceful exhalation executed with her mouth and nose sealed tight. Imagine the sensation of attempting to equalize the pressure in your ears while soaring through the skies, yet amplified to a level that is far more intense and perilous. With each exertion, she was unwittingly crafting a pressure cooker within the confines of her chest and mind. The more she exerted herself, the more perilous the situation grew. Here lies the chilling science. When one exerts themselves as Eleanor did, the blood pressure doesn't merely elevate a little. It can surge dramatically by 60 to 80 points in mere seconds. Envision a scenario where your typical blood pressure reads 130/80. In moments of intense exertion, it may rise to 200/140 or even beyond. This significant surge compels your heart to labor intensively, all the while diminishing the blood flow to your brain. It's akin to pressing the accelerator and the brake simultaneously in your vehicle. However, this is where the situation becomes particularly perilous for seniors. With the passage of time, our blood vessels lose their elasticity, resembling aged garden hoses that fracture when faced with pressure. As Eleanor exerted herself, her blood pressure surged, causing the inflexible vessels in her brain to teeter on the edge of rupture. The force was truly ripping apart the fragile connections that sustain her mind's operation. One morning, rather than experiencing the familiar sense of relief, she was overtaken by a sudden wave of dizziness, forcing her to clutch the bathroom wall to prevent herself from toppling over. Defecation syncope is the medical term for this phenomenon, and it leads thousands of seniors to seek emergency care each year. Countless souls never reach that destination unscathed. The signs of impending trouble are clear and undeniable. Clear not dirty, clear and undeniable. Experiencing dizziness following physical exertion, perceiving spots or stars in your vision, feeling lightheaded, encountering a sudden, intense headache, or sensing your heart racing. These are not merely moments of discomfort. They are your mind and spirit pleading for assistance before disaster strikes. Research indicates that older adults who exert themselves frequently during bowel movements face a 300% increased risk of cardiovascular incidents, such as strokes and heart attacks. The bathroom transforms into a perilous arena, where mundane bodily functions morph into potentially life-threatening encounters. Have you ever experienced a wave of dizziness following a moment of exertion in the bathroom? If that's the case, you've encountered precisely what Eleanor faced, a subtle warning of a mini-stroke that many tend to overlook entirely. We invite you to share your experiences in the comments below, for acknowledging these signs may not only safeguard your own life but also empower you to protect another. Habit number 2. The hot water trap. Eleanor's second deadly habit appeared to be nothing short of indulgence, her passionate romance with scalding hot showers. After years of guiding spirited adolescence, those warm, enveloping showers became her refuge. She twisted the handle to its maximum rightward position, transforming the bathroom into a steamy sauna that blurred every mirror in sight. The hotter, the better, she'd say to her daughters, who fretted over her flushed skin following each shower. What seemed like paradise was, in truth, steering her body toward a medical crisis. What Eleanor could never quite grasp about hot water and the bodies of seniors was a mystery to her. In the presence of extreme heat, your blood vessels undergo a remarkable transformation. They not only relax but also dilate significantly. Envision your circulatory system as an intricate web of highways. Hot water compels these highways to abruptly swell to double their usual breadth. Though this may appear beneficial in principle, it poses a perilous chain reaction for seniors, potentially leading to strokes in mere moments. As Eleanor entered her shower, the temperature soaring to a blistering 110 degrees, the water was almost hot enough to brew tea. Instantly, her blood vessels responded, expanding with the heat. The phenomenon known as vasodilation leads to a swift and dramatic drop in blood pressure. Picture a garden hose unexpectedly swelling from a modest half-inch to a robust 2 inches in width. The water pressure plummets significantly. In a similar manner, your body relies on a steady flow of blood pressure, as your brain is in dire need of this consistency to operate effectively. This situation forms an ideal tempest for seniors. As we journey through the years, our hearts labor with increasing intensity, and unexpected drops in blood pressure compel this vital organ to race, striving to ensure that essential organs receive their necessary blood flow. Meanwhile, the brain, perched at the pinnacle of your body, like an exacting CEO, begins to emit distress signals when it is deprived of sufficient blood flow. This is the moment when elderly individuals may fall in the shower, frequently resulting in tragic outcomes. Eleanor learned about this peril through a painful experience. 3 months prior, as she indulged in her customary morning routine, enveloped by the near-scalding embrace of her shower, the bathroom unexpectedly began to whirl around her. Her knees gave way, and she clutched the shower bar just in time to avert a catastrophic tumble. The dizziness overwhelmed her, forcing her to sink onto the shower floor, where she sat for 10 minutes, breathless and disoriented. Her skin glowed a vivid lobster red, her heart raced with fervor, and a wave of nausea lingered for hours afterward. Eleanor underwent a transient ischemic attack, a mini-stroke induced by the sudden fluctuation in blood pressure caused by her hot shower. The scalding water induced a profound vasodilation, leading to a temporary deprivation of sufficient blood flow to her brain. She was but a heartbeat away from a catastrophic stroke that could have rendered her paralyzed, or perhaps something far graver. The findings of the medical research are nothing short of astonishing. Older adults who frequently indulge in showers exceeding 104 degrees Fahrenheit face a 250% heightened risk of cardiovascular incidents. The interplay of heat, steam, and confined environments generates circumstances that can overpower aging cardiovascular systems. Emergency rooms are witnessing a surge in incidents involving seniors and showers, with numerous victims discovered unconscious on bathroom floors. Yet, here lies the cunning aspect. This practice is so pleasurable that many seniors fail to associate their post-shower dizziness, fatigue, or headaches with the temperature of the water. The ideal shower temperature for seniors should remain below 100 degrees Fahrenheit, ensuring a level of warmth that is pleasant without reaching a point that could provoke harmful vasodilation. Eleanor has embraced the use of a shower thermometer, and found that a touch of coolness in her showers invigorates her, leaving her feeling more energized and alert. What temperature do you consider perfect for a shower? Are you, as Eleanor once was, captivated by the allure of scalding hot water? We invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Your response could uncover if you are inadvertently exposing yourself to the risk of a stroke each time you step into the shower. Third habit, the abrupt rise. Eleanor's third perilous habit was an act she had performed countless times, often without a moment's hesitation: the swift rise from the porcelain throne. After lingering in her seat for several moments, she would suddenly rise and make her way to the sink, blissfully unaware that this fleeting motion was paving the way for an impending disaster. As is common among seniors, Eleanor had experienced what medical professionals refer to as orthostatic hypertension, a condition characterized by a perilous drop in blood pressure when shifting positions too swiftly. Unveiling the perilous truths that eluded Eleanor. When one remains seated for prolonged durations, particularly on the toilet, blood tends to accumulate in the lower limbs, influenced by the pull of gravity. Your heart finds its rhythm in this seated repose, beating steadily and comfortably. However, when you abruptly rise, your cardiovascular system requires valuable moments to channel blood flow upward to your brain. For seniors, this period of adjustment can be perilously prolonged. Imagine your circulatory system as a vintage elevator, slowly ascending to various levels, each requiring its own moment to arrive. As Eleanor rose abruptly, she was, in essence, imploring her weary heart to swiftly propel blood against the pull of gravity, striving to nourish her brain. A climb of nearly 4 feet upward proved too much for her 72-year-old cardiovascular system, which struggled to match her sudden movements, leading to instances where her brain was deprived of the oxygen-rich blood it so desperately needed. On a serene Sunday morning, a tragic incident unfolded. Eleanor found herself perched on the toilet for a stretch of 8 minutes, grappling with her persistent battle against constipation. In a flurry of exasperation, she sprang to her feet and hurriedly crossed the room, her destination the bathroom sink just ahead. Suddenly, darkness enveloped the room. She fell back, her head colliding with the ceramic toilet tank, the sound echoing with a disturbing thud that resonated through the thin walls of the apartment, reaching her neighbor's ears. As Eleanor stirred back to awareness 3 minutes later, she found herself sprawled in a pool of blood, engulfed in confusion and terror. The autumn chill had carved a 4-inch wound into the back of her head, leaving her tailbone battered and bruised. Yet the true injury lay hidden within. The abrupt decline in blood pressure had momentarily halted circulation to her brain, resulting in what medical experts refer to as a pre-syncope episode, a condition that could have easily precipitated a complete stroke. The emergency room doctors detailed how Eleanor's blood pressure had dramatically fallen from 135/80 while seated to a staggering 85/50 within mere seconds of standing, a decline so severe it led to her immediate loss of consciousness. This intense variation exerts significant pressure on the brain's fragile blood vessels, frequently leading to their rupture or obstruction. Eleanor counted herself remarkably lucky that her fall did not lead to a stroke, a brain hemorrhage, or a broken hip, any of which could have irrevocably altered her independence. Studies indicate that orthostatic hypertension impacts nearly 30% of individuals over the age of 70. Yet the majority remain oblivious to their condition until a significant fall occurs. The atmosphere of the bathroom amplifies the danger significantly. Rigid ceramic surfaces, enclosed areas, and the seclusion that prolongs assistance when mishaps happen. The answer is unexpectedly straightforward, yet it demands a certain level of commitment. Eleanor has adopted what her doctor refers to as the 3-step safety method. Initially, she remains motionless for 30 seconds upon completion, permitting her circulation to find its equilibrium. She gradually shifts to the edge of the toilet seat, pausing for another 15 seconds as her body acclimates to the change in position. Finally, she stands up gradually while holding onto a grab bar, taking a full 10 seconds to reach her complete upright position. This approach has completely eradicated Eleanor's dizzy spells, allowing her cardiovascular system the opportunity to effectively redirect blood flow. She has thoughtfully placed robust grab bars in key areas and now navigates each shift in position with a sense of patience and an understanding of her body's boundaries. Since the implementation of these changes, Eleanor has not encountered a single episode of dizziness or lightheadedness while in the bathroom. Her confidence has blossomed anew, and the once daunting necessary trips now feel less like navigating a minefield. Yet, the following habit is what her cardiologist referred to as the silent killer, a seemingly benign routine that accounts for more senior strokes than the other three habits put together. This revelation is bound to astonish you, as it's a common practice among seniors that occurs repeatedly each night. The fourth habit, the midnight rush. Eleanor's fourth and most perilous habit unfolded in the shrouded hours of night, the unexpected dash to the bathroom at midnight. Much like many seniors, Eleanor found herself waking 2 to 3 times each night, compelled by urgent bathroom needs, a reality that underscored the perilous nature of those late-night excursions. In a state of half-consciousness, yearning for solace, she would navigate the shadowy corridor, blissfully unaware that these seemingly harmless nocturnal excursions were setting the stage for a catastrophic stroke. Herein lies the peril that nighttime bathroom excursions pose for the elderly. As you drift into slumber, your body embarks on a journey of natural dehydration, shedding fluids through the gentle rhythms of breathing and the subtle sheen of sweat. At the same time, numerous senior medications, including blood pressure pills, diuretics, and sleep aids, attain their highest concentration in your bloodstream during the night. This concoction breeds a perilous mix, thickening your blood while your blood pressure dances erratically, transforming each midnight excursion to the bathroom into a looming medical crisis. Eleanor's morning ritual was a masterclass in peril. At the stroke of 2 a.m., her bladder would insist on being acknowledged. Still enveloped in the haze of sleep and yearning for the comfort of her bed, she sprang from her mattress and hurried down the shadowy hallway. As her body shifted from a horizontal to a vertical position, the severe dehydration she faced led to drastic fluctuations in blood pressure, placing immense pressure on the fragile blood vessels within her brain. The unseen elements were both insidious and deadly. Eleanor was prescribed 3 medications that influenced her cardiovascular system: a blood pressure medication that reached its zenith at 3 a.m., a diuretic that had been siphoning fluids from her body for hours, and a gentle sleep aid that muted her reflexes and clouded her perception of impending dangers. As she rose abruptly, her parched body reacted with a jolt. Her blood pressure surged alarmingly, while her heart labored to push the viscous blood through narrowed veins. On a Tuesday night in January, a near-fatal incident unfolded. Eleanor stirred from her slumber at 2:17 a.m., driven by her familiar, pressing urgency. In a sudden burst of movement, she cast aside her covers and rose to her feet, a wave of dizziness washing over her, which she dismissed as mere morning grogginess. As she approached the bathroom doorway, a searing headache abruptly detonated behind her eyes. The agony surged through her, forcing her to bend at the waist, her fingers clutching the doorframe as her sight blurred, and an unsettling tingling crept through her left arm. Eleanor found herself in the throes of a hypertensive crisis. Her blood pressure soared to an alarming 210/120, placing her squarely in the danger zone for a stroke. A confluence of dehydration, the effects of medication, and abrupt changes in position had forged a tempest within her cardiovascular system. Her mind was caught in a vice of perilous tension, all the while deprived of the life-giving flow of well-oxygenated blood. Fortunately, Eleanor sensed that something was amiss in a profound way. Rather than forcing her way to the bathroom, she gently sank to the floor and dialed 911. Paramedics reached the scene in a swift 8 minutes, only to discover her blood pressure alarmingly high at 195/115. Emergency medication was swiftly administered, and she was hurried to the hospital, where doctors confirmed that she had been mere minutes away from a significant stroke. Hospital tests unveiled that Eleanor's nocturnal dehydration had reached alarming levels, rendering her blood syrupy thick, while her medications induced dramatic fluctuations in her blood pressure throughout the night. Dr. Wilson, her cardiologist, elucidated that seniors embarking on unprepared nocturnal bathroom excursions face a staggering 400% increased risk of experiencing strokes during the perilous hours between midnight and 6 a.m., a time frame that medical professionals refer to as the danger hours. Preparation for the solution is something that often escapes the minds of many seniors. Eleanor has taken to placing a sizable water bottle next to her bed, sipping 4 6-ounces before each nocturnal bathroom excursion, a practice that aids in thinning her blood and stabilizing her circulation. She set up motion-activated nightlights to banish the risk of stumbling in the dark, and she adheres to a strict 2-minute preparation ritual before rising from her slumber. Her revised evening routine involves perching on the edge of her bed for a full minute to allow her blood pressure to stabilize, sipping water to combat dehydration, and progressing with measured, intentional pauses. With her doctor's guidance, she meticulously adjusted the timing of her medication, carefully spacing out the doses to mitigate the overnight concentration peaks that were causing perilous fluctuations in her blood pressure. Following the implementation of these changes, Eleanor's nighttime blood pressure readings have shown a remarkable stabilization. Her sleep quality is enhanced, free from the dread of those essential bathroom excursions, and she has been spared from any dizziness or headaches throughout her nightly rituals. Research in the medical field has established that maintaining adequate hydration and making gradual changes in position can lower the risk of nighttime strokes in seniors by as much as 75%. Still, many older adults persist in these perilous late-night escapades, blissfully ignorant that they are engaging in a game of chance with their cognitive well-being night after night. Do you take the time to prepare for those nocturnal bathroom excursions, or do you dash through the shadows as Eleanor once did? We invite you to share your evening rituals in the comments below. Your routines could unveil if you were inadvertently exposing yourself to danger in those fragile hours of the night. 3 months following her harrowing awakening, Eleanor's existence has undergone a profound metamorphosis. Her revamped bathroom routine has transformed into not only a safer practice, but also an unexpected wellspring of confidence and control. The era of arduous, searing showers, abrupt motions, and frantic midnight dashes has faded away. Instead, Eleanor adheres to a methodical approach that has, quite literally, saved her life. Her morning ritual now embraces fiber supplements and adequate hydration to prevent the perils of excessive straining. She has found that warm showers, rather than the scorching ones of the past, invigorate her far more effectively. Each shift in position is intentional and measured, allowing her cardiovascular system the necessary time to adapt securely. Her evening rituals have evolved into instinct, with water, lights, and patience illuminating each journey. However, the true evidence emerged during her 3-month checkup. Dr. Wilson was taken aback as he examined Eleanor's blood pressure logs. After 3 decades of experience, he expressed his astonishment, shaking his head in disbelief, as he remarked on the remarkable transformation he had witnessed. Her readings had settled at a commendable 125/78, figures she hadn't encountered in more than 10 years. The metamorphosis transcends mere figures. Eleanor's vitality has surged, her sleep has transformed remarkably, and most crucially, her anxiety about bathroom-related mishaps has dissipated. She has reclaimed the independence and confidence that momentarily faded during those perilous months. Her family observes the transformation as well. Her daughter observes that Eleanor now navigates her life with intention and mindfulness, a stark contrast to the frantic, anxious woman who once sped through everyday tasks without considering their impact. Eleanor wishes to convey to every senior observing this: you need not await a wake-up call as I once did. These straightforward adjustments restored my life, and they hold the potential to transform yours as well. If this video has unveiled hidden dangers you were previously unaware of, go ahead and hit that like button without hesitation. Distribute this to every elder in your life, your parents, grandparents, neighbors, or friends. By simply pressing that share button, you might be the one who saves a life. Join us for essential health insights that are frequently overlooked by doctors.